There are stories that we hear in passing, tales of the strange and the unsettling that linger for a moment before fading from memory. Then, there are cases that lodge themselves deep within our consciousness, refusing to let go. Have you ever encountered a mystery so chilling, so profoundly unexplainable, that it keeps you awake in the quiet hours of the night? You find yourself replaying the details, searching for a logic that isn't there, and wondering how something so disturbing could ever happen in our world. These are the narratives that challenge our understanding of reality, forcing us to confront the unsettling possibility that some questions were never meant to have answers. Today we delve into one such story, a case that has become a benchmark for the truly disturbing mysteries ever recorded. It is a tale that has been pored over by seasoned investigators, debated by criminal psychologists, and whispered about by those who have heard its frightening details. This is not a simple account of a crime with a clear motive and a straightforward resolution. Instead, it is a labyrinth of shadows, a web of hidden clues, and a pervasive darkness that seems to emanate from every piece of evidence, every witness statement, and every silent corner of the scene where it all unfolded. It is a story that still haunts those who tried to solve it. Before we proceed, it is important to prepare yourself for the journey ahead. The narrative you are about to witness is more than just a sequence of events leading to a tragic conclusion. It is a puzzle, one that feels as if it were deliberately carved from the very essence of fear, silence, and secrets. Each element seems to have been placed with an unnerving precision, designed to confuse and mislead anyone who dares to look too closely. The silence surrounding the case is not empty. It is heavy with unheard words and unseen actions, creating an atmosphere of profound dread that has only deepened with the passage of time. This case forces us to ask ourselves uncomfortable questions about the world we think we know. It examines the fragile line between belief and delusion, between free will and manipulation. The events that transpired are so far removed from the realm of normal human experience that they demand a suspension of disbelief, pulling us into a world where the impossible suddenly feels plausible. So, take a moment, take a breath, and steady your nerves. What you are about to explore is not merely a crime scene, but a psychological landscape fraught with inexplicable occurrences and a mystery that stubbornly refuses to be solved. As we begin this exploration, it is crucial to challenge our own perceptions of truth and deception. Before we lay out the facts as they were recorded, ask yourself a simple yet profound question. What if everything you see, and everything you are told, is only a fraction of the real story? Imagine a reality where the most obvious details are nothing more than a carefully constructed facade, designed to hide a much darker, more complex truth lurking just beneath the surface. This is the mindset required to navigate the perplexing corridors of this particular mystery, where every apparent fact seems to shimmer and change upon closer inspection. In this case, almost nothing is what it initially appears to be. The scene itself, the people involved, and the evidence left behind all contribute to a narrative that feels intentionally misleading. It is as if we are watching a play where the actors are performing a script written by an unseen director, with motives that remain entirely hidden from the audience. The investigation became an exercise in peeling back layer after layer of illusion, only to find more questions and deeper enigmas underneath. The truth is not simply buried. It feels as though it was actively erased, leaving behind a vacuum of understanding that chills to the bone. The story starts not with a scream or a sudden act of violence, but with an unnerving stillness. It began on a quiet, ordinary morning, the kind where the rhythms of daily life should have been playing out as usual. A neighbor, accustomed to the familiar sounds of a family next door, noticed something was wrong. There was a profound silence that did not feel normal. It felt heavy, absolute, and deeply unsettling. There was no movement behind the curtains, no voices echoing from within, and absolutely no signs of the life that should have been bustling inside the home. The absence of activity was a quiet alarm. What began as simple curiosity quickly spiraled into a gnawing concern. The neighbor's initial feeling that something was amiss grew stronger with each passing hour, the silence from the house becoming more and more ominous. Eventually, that concern blossomed into undeniable fear, a primal instinct that something terrible had occurred behind the closed door. When the authorities were finally called and the door was opened, The scene that greeted them was one of pure, unadulterated horror. It was a sight so shocking and so contrary to logic that it froze the blood of hardened first responders and would go on to stun an entire nation. Before we delve deeper into the chilling sequence of events, I want you to pause for a moment. I need you to ask yourself one simple, yet profoundly important question. What if everything you see, everything you are told, and everything you believe to be a solid fact is only half of the truth? Consider the possibility that the reality presented to us is often a carefully curated version of events, a narrative shaped to lead us down a specific path. In many investigations, the truth is obscured by missing pieces, but in this case, it feels as if the truth was deliberately fractured and rearranged to create a disorienting illusion, a puzzle with no solution. This is the fundamental challenge of the mystery we are exploring today. Nothing is what it appears to be. The tranquil suburban home, the seemingly ordinary family, the evidence left behind, each element serves as a piece of a larger, more confounding enigma. It is a case that defies conventional logic, forcing us to question the very nature of perception and reality. The surface details paint a picture, but it is a picture that feels wrong, like a portrait where the eyes are looking in two different directions. The more you stare at it, the more unsettling the inconsistencies become, suggesting a hidden layer of complexity that is far more sinister than anyone could have imagined. The story you are about to hear is not a straightforward tale of crime and investigation. It is a journey into a world where the lines between belief, manipulation, and madness become hopelessly blurred. It is as if an unseen hand was guiding the events, meticulously crafting a scene designed to be misinterpreted. Every clue seems to point in multiple directions at once, creating a maze of contradictions that has trapped investigators and analysts for years. This is not a case where the truth is simply buried. It is a case where the truth itself seems to be a variable, a shifting concept that changes depending on your point of view. Therefore, as we proceed, I urge you to abandon your assumptions. Do not trust what seems obvious. Question every detail, no matter how small or insignificant it may appear. The narrative that unfolded within that silent house was governed by a logic entirely its own, one that does not conform to our understanding of the world. To even begin to comprehend what might have happened, we must be willing to look past the facade and into the shadows that lurk beneath. Because in this chilling mystery, the most terrifying possibility is that the truth was never meant to be found, leaving us forever haunted by the unknown. It began on a quiet morning, almost indistinguishable from any other. The sun cast its early golden light across a peaceful suburban street, promising a day of routine and normalcy. Yet, for one neighbor, a subtle but persistent feeling of unease began to creep in. It was a silence, a particular kind of stillness that did not feel normal. The familiar sounds of a family waking up, a car starting, voices carrying through an open window, the simple rhythm of life, were conspicuously absent. The house next door, usually a source of gentle, everyday commotion, stood unnervingly quiet. It was a void where there should have been light. This profound silence was more than just the absence of noise. It felt like a presence in itself. At first, the neighbor dismissed it as nothing. Perhaps the family had left early for a trip, or maybe they were simply sleeping in. But as the morning wore on, the stillness remained unbroken. Curiosity slowly began to sharpen into a distinct sense of concern. The curtains remained drawn. The morning newspaper lay untouched on the porch. The car sat cold in the driveway. Each small detail added another layer to the growing apprehension, painting a picture of a house, frozen in time, its inhabitants vanished from their own lives. Concern soon gave way to a more primal emotion: fear. The neighbor's mind raced through possible explanations, each one more worrying than the last. The silence from the house seemed to grow louder, more oppressive with every passing minute. It was a silence that spoke of something terribly wrong, a quiet scream that no one could hear. The instinct that something dreadful had occurred behind that ordinary front door became too powerful to ignore. A call was made, a plea for someone to check, to shatter the unnerving calm and confirm that everything was all right. But it was already too late for that. When the authorities finally arrived and the door was carefully pushed open, the scene that confronted them was one that would be seared into their memories forever. The immediate sight was not one of chaos or violence, but of an eerie, unnatural order. Yet what lay within that quiet room was so profoundly disturbing so contrary to all logical explanation,